Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Joyce Fukumabwa, as I mentioned earlier. The topic is online purchasing habits of African consumers, perspectives from Ghana. IT in general and e-business in particular has become the engine of growth for business activities today. And there's empirical evidence that major economies have tripled when it comes to e-business, with Africa lagging behind. And there is growing interest in retaining and gaining consumers from our continent because of our demographic patterns. And then additionally, e-business has become the generator of the main ways of doing business. So my main motivation in this research was to bring our people on board to be able to take part in this new ways of doing business. The overview of the presentation: justification for the study, methodology, results, conclusion, stroke recommendation. So there's interest in African growth, and then the reasons are developing countries, including Africa, constitute 80% of the world's population. We have younger population and then faster overall population growth. For these reasons, there's an interest in the growth. And yesterday, Mr. Colin Thaku made mention of why people are coming to Africa from China, India, and the rest. Because we have a lot of resources, human and the like. So this makes us a huge potential market area, and therefore we need to be assimilated in this new way of doing business. Next slide, please. A comparison of internet usage between 2000 and 2011 gave this picture. And when you go to the next slide, you realize that the highest growth was from Africa, which was 36%. Next. So the methodology was, there was a survey conducted in Finland and in Ghana between 2004 and 2009. And we used stratified and convenient sampling methods with a semi-structured questionnaire and interviews. And we used independent variables like gender, age group, educational level, and international exposure. And these were analyzed against some dependent variables. So the results were categorized into two: internet usage of the Ghanaian, and then the online consumer behavior. So the results showed that 62% of the respondents use internet daily. Next. And the purpose of use by the respondents has been mainly email and for information search. 80% of respondents have very easy access to the use of internet. and then with a pre-purchasing decision. But with the previous slide, you could see that even though 62% of the respondents have access to, 62% of the respondents use internet daily, and 80% are very easy to easy access to internet. Later, you realize that it's only about 20% of respondents who have purchased something online. So 20% of the respondents have said they have bought something online. 80% said no. And for the 20% who have purchased online, the major products have been software, books, and music. So 53% have purchased books, 40% software. Yeah, and then with the purchasing decision factors of respondents, most are influenced by brand names. Some said products that give them a higher degree of confidence. And then a few said products that are unique, and others suggestions by opinion leaders. And then when respondents were asked about the preferred means of e-shopping, they said 31% said they prefer to see product information online. So they see information online, they go to the shop to buy the product. 19 said they see product information online, they order online and go to the shop. And then others also wanted to do it the traditional way. And then concerning fears about buying online, when you look at the first two, you see that 75% of the respondents have fear about buying online. 25% said yes, a lot of fear. 50% said a little. And then 25% said no. And then why are they afraid? 30% said because it's complicated. 18% said it's because of something negative that they have heard about purchasing online. And 52% said lack of trust for faceless, paperless transactions. It all has to do with culture. Next slide. And those who have bought online, some have hesitated buying. And the reason for the hesitation has been, they said, I prefer to touch and feel products I buy. Because it's not always what you see online, it's what you get. Sometimes the picture of what you see online is different, and they prefer to see as we do the traditional way. 35% also said it's risky giving credit card details online. 19 said want a personal guarantee for after-sales service. And then psychological assurance. So what are the suggested remedy for the negative perception? Looking at what has happened earlier, we realize that culture has an important thing to play. Our society is a polychronic society. We usually prefer to talk to people, listen to opinion leaders, and the like. And then there's some of the suggested remedy for the negative perception is giving assurance of secure financial transactions to allay their fears about buying online. If people are given the assurance that their transactions are safe, they are not going to lose money, we could get a lot of people to patronize in this. If we could give assurance of money-back guarantee in case of defect. But when you go to the shop, the physical shop that what we know, and you have a problem, you can easily go back to the shop. So if people are giving the assurance of money-back guarantee, that what you buy online, if in case it's defective or there's a problem, your money is guaranteed, then people will be more confident. And then brick and mortar rather than pure e-play. The pure e-play is when we have just an online business. So you have no idea where the physical shop is. What you have to do is just order and then you get your item at home or somewhere else. So for our system, the brick and mortar, rather than pure e-play, depending on the product in question. So you could check or access information online, and then you could also go to the shop to get your product. Preference to have visiting or physical address of companies involved. Because previously, some of the companies didn't have any information about the location of their places. So if there is the visiting or physical address of the companies involved, people will be a bit secured. And a few of the respondents interviewed were the opinion that getting familiar with the use of internet could allay their fears about buying online. For some of the people, it's like it's something new. And we all know about the fear of the unknown. So advertisements and the like, when people become familiar, they will not even think twice to buy online. Next. Proposed guidelines for e-commerce design. We have to promote the use of credit cards. The apparent vulnerability concerns shoppers to the point that they avoid purchasing online. We need to promote the use of credit cards. There should be assurance of security in e-commerce sites, because that will be a plus. And then technology should be further developed to provide a perception of physical feelings for products. Allowing for price negotiations would provide a more satisfying shopping environment for the Ghanaian or African consumer. We know that we all like bargaining. I love it a lot. So if we have this system, because one size doesn't fit all. Like in the European system, you can't bargain, but we do it. An assurance of a physical address where online customers can visit and voice out their feelings or return their products in case they are defective. Also organizing site information in such a way that those with slow dial-up access can be able to do that. So what next? A framework of e-commerce. It doesn't exist in isolation. We need all these things to come into play. If we want people to patronize, to buy online, the business service infrastructure, that is the security, online payments, internet, etc., policies, logistics and other things has to be in place. Any prospect? Yes. Governments of Ghana and other African countries are promoting and encouraging the girl-child education. And there is a brighter future for online purchases because women are more adventurous in buying. So if we are promoting the girl-child education, in a few years' time, we will find more buyers online. And you know, as Dr. Edry said, if you educate a man, you educate an individual. But if you educate a woman, you educate a nation. So, just the last thing is that these, the active users are between the ages of 18 and 49. And they are the future leaders, the policy makers. So there is hope for us. So let's go in for this. Thank you.